Hello, welcome. I'm No02, like no oxygen, and thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it. This is going to be Act 2 solo deck. This is going to be how you can approach Act 2, playing with random people, playing with bots, or playing with people who want to speedrun, right? Those are the three criteria. Those are the three things that you will encounter when you're playing in solo queue. One of those three things, people who are playing normal, bots, and speedrunners. But you're going to see here by the title of this deck, it's first half, the first half of Act 2. And I tried to avoid this. I tried to figure out if there is a way to make just one nice solid deck, but there's just an issue of, especially when you're playing by yourself, there's an issue of having enough damage to quickly deal with the boss rush that is the end of Act 2. Herald of the Worm, Herald of the Worm Part 2, and then Grave Danger. Are basically boss rushes. Like, it's just, and the easiest way to do a crap ton of damage with as little cards as possible is just, it's grenades. Grenades are the fastest way to deal with those things, and if you're playing with bots, it's super hard. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we get into that second half of the deck, but basically, there is an issue of, we need just enough use speed and mobility to deal with Broken Bird. But then as soon as we're done with Broken Bird, we do sort of like take a step back in a way from movement speed, because now all of a sudden we need a bunch of grenade damage. All of a sudden we need a crap ton of damage, and it's a little hard to sort of blend the two together because you end up not having enough card space, because you only get 12 cards. You only get 12 cards in Act 2. That's the most we get. And you're going to look at this deck and you're going to see, well, oh man, there's actually a lot of movement-based cards in this game. I thought we were going to play more normal, not have to speedrunny things and stuff like that. At the moment, the issue right now, once you get past Act 1, is that you're playing a lot with bots. You're either getting bots, or you're getting people who are speedrunning. You're almost never getting people who are trying to play the game in a normal way at this point. Solo queue in Act 2 is bots and speedrunners. The normal people are still stuck in Act 1, sadly. Hopefully my videos are helping people get through Act 1 in a more normal-ish way, but as far as I can tell right now, Act 2 is speedrunners and bots. So basically, we need to prepare all the way to Broken Bird to do Broken Bird by ourselves, and that's what this deck is all about. This entire deck is leading up to us being able to do Broken Bird with bots. Hazard Pay Double Grenade Pouch, right? Classic, tried and true. Run like hell. These are just like great cards, fundamentals. If you played my solo deck, you understand how this works. It functions the same exact way. With grenades, we can sort of play with our team and be of support and deal with mutations. Run like hell can allow us to speed clutch. We get these three cards on the first mission. Call to Arms. Superior Cardio or the Armory. Because again, the Armory ends up just being, you're on a timer. You're on a timer. And if you're playing in solo queue, you're gonna run out of resources. There's no way possible to have enough grenades. The bots won't cut it for more than one or two hordes. So you sort of end up just being stuck, having to move super fast through the Armory. The next part is going to be Pipe Cleaners, Fire in the Hole. And we have Fire in the Hole right here specifically because if you want to sort of like play like the sort of slower, leapfroggy, in a normal way, you don't want a full-on speed run, there's still some critical locations in Pipe Cleaners where you need to get from point A to point B while a horde is chasing you. Specifically that first part of Pipe Cleaners. and you're gonna need a grenade or pipe bomb if you prefer. But I typically use grenades. I'd encourage grenades. You're gonna need a grenade for that very first horde event in pipe cleaners to blow a path through the door, basically. And this extra boost of movement speed and health is going to allow you to blow a path, blow up the pathway, and then in the nightmare, in the actual nightmare playthroughs, I'll show you the strategy. But we're going to sort of utilize fire in the hole to get from point A to point B super quickly, so that the bots will either teleport to us into a corner, and then we can hold off the horde there with the bots, or at the very least we get there faster, and that means ultimately the bots will get there faster as well, and then we can hold off the horde event and then play in a normal sense. And there's just two areas where we can sort of utilize this extra movement speed with fire in the hole, specifically in pipe cleaners, that will allow us to get the bots from point A to point B much safer. So and but also just in general too, if you do end up just like want to sort of solo speed run the map, fire in the hole is still a great card because the extra health and the extra movement speed at those same key locations will help you get from point A to point B safely yourself. And then, whether or not the bots survive is just, RNG and etc. Cross trainers, just another all-around standard great card for movement and stamina. Again, we're just preparing for Broken Bird here, and extra grenade pouch, because once we're in Broken Bird, we are not going to have access to buying more things. So having 4 grenade slots basically, and there'll sort of be 2 ways to do it. If you have the money for it, pipe bombs are nice. Grenades are doable. I did it with grenades, but I played it in a way where the bots ended up living for a long time in the mission, and that's huge. Next is Fleet of Foot. Again, we're just preparing for Broken Bird. Headband Magnifier. Hooking up those chains is not a tremendous issue as far as G speed goes, but having this actually really nice. And the reason why we have Fleet of Foot and cross trainers, like we have so much movement in our deck here, is that once we're in Broken Bird, we're trapped in an arena. And if the bots die, the only way that you are going to be able to hook up those crates by yourself is that you're going to have to run as far away as possible from the crate that's active with the helicopter. Run as far away as possible. Let all the zombies catch up. You need to sort of hold off the horde on your own for a long time. You need the mutations ideally to catch up to you. Once the mutations have caught up, you throw a pipe bomb, sprint back to that crate, and that distance that you've created is all the time that you have to hook up as many cords as possible. Which is why, again, now we have Fleet of Foot, we have cross trainers, run like hell, fire in the hole. Sort of in combination, once the mutations have caught up to you, you throw the pipe bomb, you sprint super fast, as quickly as you can to the crate. The only thing now that we really have to worry about is mutation spawns nearby, or not, or common zombies spawning nearby, and basically we just have this small window of opportunity where the mutations are catching up to us. And that's why we need the movement speed, is that we need to kite them as far away as possible. The faster that we can get to the crate means that the more time we have to hook up, hopefully more than one cord. And you're going to have to just rinse and repeat that over and over again. So this deck is set up for the worst case scenario that you'll end up facing in Broken Bird. Hopefully in the nightmare run that I end up showing is that there is a way to keep the bots alive. There are some strategies that we can do to keep the bots alive and things like that, but this deck is set up for Broken Bird. Everyone's dead. It's up to you to clutch it, whether it's bots or teammates. It's just you, and this deck is going to allow you to achieve that. Now the second half of Act 2, obviously now it's different. We cut out a couple of movement speed cards here. We don't have cross trainers anymore. So have Hazard Pay, Double Grenade Pouch, Run Like Hell, Superior Cardio, and we have Fleet of Foot. The other movement card that we have is Olympic Sprinter. And that's because, again, we're stuck in an arena for grave danger. This big old arena, and we just need as much like value as possible. So we have 50% sprint efficiency for when running around the arena, and this is going to be sort of built around this idea that by this point in time, the bots are going to have the PT, the mandatory PT card. So we're going to have tons of stamina, so we don't really need cross trainers. We just need that stamina to be as valuable as possible. Right, so other than that, though, now we have Bomb Squad, Improvised Explosions, Demolitions Expert, Grenade Training, Glass Cannon, Chemical Courage. It's just all of the damage cards to make our grenades super strong. And in the videos, I'll demonstrate how we're going to manage our grenades and how many grenades we buy per level and things like that. But basically, you start using this deck at Herald of the Worm Part 1. And this general idea is we have our grenades do a crap ton of damage, just a crap ton of damage, and you'll be able to kill the monstrous ogre at Heralds of the Worm with I think like 4 or 5 grenades. So I'll end up buying more than just 3 that we can carry. Same thing with Heralds of the Worm 2. There's actually a way that you can still ferry grenades down. Because in Heralds of the Worm 2, you have to jump out of the library. There's actually still a way to ferry grenades down to the bottom of it that I'll demonstrate in that video when we get there. So again, we don't need extra grenade pouches or anything like that, just because we're always going to have access to more grenades than we can carry. So then we just focus on grenade damage and movement, and that's it. It's just a boss rush. We throw grenades that hurt, and we can run away to stay alive, and that's about it. That's Act 2. Act 2 is really weird in that sense, in that it's just we have this tiny little bit of demand for use speed, and just like weird maneuverability through that arena, and then we have this huge demand for damage, because the last part of Act 2 is just a boss rush. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hope it's helpful. Stay tuned. Pretty soon I'll be releasing the actual Nightmare playthrough, where I'll be talking about all the strategy and how to use the deck and how it works, and just demonstrating all that functionality and whatnot. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the future.